Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live. I'm Dan Ramey. He's Mike Smith.
I was caught just looking down here. I didn't know that we started. I'm sorry.
See, Dan Ramey is under my body there. So, well, wait a minute. That didn't sound good. We got blue on anyway. We match that way. We just don't.
Can we start this over?
No, he's really Dan Ramey, and I'm Mike Smith.
Yeah, see, it says right there on the screen.
Yeah, we got it fixed.
Okay.
Hal fixed it for us. Aaron, excuse me. Yeah, not Hal.
Oh,
You'll never forget that. Was it Alan, not Hal?
we got to stop having show prep.
Start or stop, yeah.
Now, if we ever start, then there's a problem.
Yeah. Show wouldn't be nearly as good if we were prepared. It's kind of like the Carol Burnett show. The best stuff was the ad-lib stuff, yeah.
Can you move that microphone, sir? One of the things that we now, can you like move it off screen?
I'm Tim Conway. Oh, yeah. This is Thursday.
Boy,
November 16th, 2023.
I feel like I got to move over a little bit.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Dan had some other guests in here earlier this morning.
I did, and they were much prettier than you.
Yeah, that's for
And
sure.
me.
I will tell you that right off the bat.
We'll tell you what we were doing earlier today, coming up in a moment if you missed that. But if you are one of those people that you're sitting there waiting for the next thing that Litter Media has, you probably already know who was here.
Exactly, yeah.
And of course, if you're waiting for this program to begin on time at 11 o'clock, you're disappointed again. He's one of them. Let's get you started with the look at the forecast, let you know how to prepare today. Still a good-looking day?
For today, I wanted to get the most updated thing for tomorrow. Sunny today and a high 65. As we told you yesterday, we're talking about rain, and for my little weather ditty here, looks like it could start in tomorrow at about 9 a.m.
I think they call that an app.
Yeah, well, I'm an old guy. Looks like I can't see from the camera how far into the day tomorrow, Dan, does it look like it might be raining?
Rain doesn't begin until 10 p.m. according to this.
10 p.m.
Yeah.
Saturday or Friday?
Friday.
Oh, mine says 9 a.m.
Oh, is it 8?
Leave it to the
Oh, you're right,
meteorologist
yes.
here. Looks like maybe
You
to
are.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
7 to 7.
But
10 to 7.
I continue to believe that it's going to be light precipitation.
He's Mr. Positive. Remember,
yeah.
He's Mr. Sunshine. Yeah. And then cooler for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Looks like highs will be down in the 40s for a high.
So how do we prepare for tomorrow night? Rain gear. It's going to be 58 degrees. Walking around with cameras for the open house and everything. Will probably be too warm if we wear heavier coats. So.
Do they call those rain slickers? Is that what they used to call them? The lighter?
Yeah. And even those things can generate a lot of heat while
They
you're
do.
walking around doing physical stuff, like we plan to do tomorrow night.
Well, just stop in at Pat Highlands and he'll cool you down.
Yes, you'll have some, probably some peppermint ice cream or something.
Yeah.
Flavorfully, holiday flavored.
Yummy, yummy.
All right, coming up in a moment, we'll get you caught up to date with what's happening with news. We'll explain who our guests were this morning, but we've got some other things going on. Big doings over in Frankfurt last night. Mike was there. It's not exactly like the fracas in Frankfurt from the 1980s.
I remember that.
This was not sports related. Well, I guess in some respect
It
was
could
kinda-
be. Some parts of it, yeah.
So if you're not sure what we're talking about, stick with us. We'll tell you more coming up in a moment. But first, these words about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, it takes you right to their website, accuratehvac.com, and you'll find numbers for how to reach them. So if you're in Washington Courthouse, they've got a number for Washington Courthouse. They've got a number for Waverly. They've got a number for Circleville. They've got a number for Chillicothe. They cover the area, and they do it well. Get more details now at littermedia.com.
You asked, we delivered. New Mike's Hard Lemonade, Zero Sugar. Zero sugar. Amazing taste. Years in the making. Now that's a drink worthy of the name Mike.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
I mentioned littermedia.com. That's where you can find a lot of the news stories that we have for you. And, of course, if you were watching any of our social media last night, Mike shared some details about our lead story today. But let's get right into our lead story. And there you see part of it, the proposed wellness center out in Frankfort.
Yeah, a few dozen people attended a special Adena Local Board of Education meeting last night where school district officials unveiled the proposal for an approximate $7.2 million wellness center in Frankfort. The funds were sought through the Appalachian Community Development Grant Project. The grant itself is actually $5.5 million, which means the remaining $1.6 million would have to come from the Adena Local School General Fund. No levy would be planned to make up that difference, so it would come out of the general fund. At the end of the meeting, I talked with the Adena Board President, Roy Robinson, about how all this got started.
This is all about an opportunity for rural areas that the governor has ran through the Office of Appalachia, that based on health and wellness, that there's opportunities for grant funding to be available. We, as the school board, knew it was time to modernize, our facilities, especially down at the football field. So we come up with this project to take, our need of modernization of our locker room and the football facility, the field house, and really bridge that together with this wellness center. We've seen some other schools that's done that, and to me it just seems like a logical choice from that perspective.
But this would be something that would also be available for the community to come in and participate.
Absolutely, and that's the big part about it from this perspective is, I wasn't around exactly when they had to talk about this new school that we're in now that still looks beautiful 22 years later, but I always hear that, we were going to have an opportunity to be able to walk around here and do all this stuff, and I never really forgot about that when I ran 4 years ago for election, so that was also near and dear to my heart of saying, okay, this is something that the community can use, Concord, Union, Deerfield Township, come over here. They've got a walking track. We're going to have some opportunities, some workout equipment as well. I just think all that is something that we can take charge of our own health. And anytime you're doing that, you're going to help out, our first responders because you're going to be in better health. You're also going to help out, your own pocketbook of how much you spend at the doctor and pharmacy. So it was a no-brainer from that perspective.
So while the funding source is different, it's very comparable to what we've seen at Tays Valley and Westfall with their community centers. But there's a heavy emphasis on wellness, especially with the children getting off to a good start, physical fitness and that sort of thing. But they'll also have a clinic inside there.
And I saw, according to what you showed me from the pamphlets, a gymnasium involved there. Mm-hmm. Will that be a gymnasium that might be for youth basketball or?
All of the above. It'll be
right?
available for the school teams to practice in, open gyms. The community will be able to use it. It'll be an all-encompassing thing. It's not a done deal, but they hope to know in January or early February whether they got the grant.
Pretty cool. And they did it after Aaron Glandon left.
But he can utilize it as a member of the community.
That's right.
But I left the community. I live in Chillicothe now.
Well, you can drive out there. Yeah,
but
you got to go see mom and dad.
That's true.
When you go out and see mom and dad, you can work out as well. Some of the other news making headlines today: Ohio's popular white-tailed deer gun hunting seasons begin in November. And, of course,
they're hunting youths?
Well, not exactly, yeah. The youth gun season, that's for hunters 17 and younger, that starts this Saturday and Sunday. The week-long gun season, open to all hunters, kicks off Monday, November the 27th, runs through Sunday, December the 3rd. And then the Deer Gun Weekend, That's December 16th and 17th.
That's just you can't base your thoughts upon a headline you just saw.
No.
So,
And I even looked at the way the state sent the press release,
It
and
said
that's
the
the
same
way
thing.
they had it too. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't imply that we need to hunt youth. Yeah. Ross County League of Women Voters will host a crime prevention and self-protection seminar on November the 18th from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the Pump House Center for the Arts, which of course is in Chillicothe Jacques Tangi Park. Admission is $5 at the door, cash only, please. Now, for more information, you can visit the League of Women Voters website, which I think is posted right there at the bottom of that image.
lwvchillicothe.org.
For the radio audience, yes.
And when they get done learning all this, they can go out and fight with the kids on the ice rink.
Well,
Learn what you use.
yeah, or protect yourself in whatever way you need to.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
That they're doing this.
Self-defense, absolutely. The weekend is going to be alive in downtown Chillicothe. Downtown Open House is this weekend, and this is something kind of neat that's actually going to benefit the Chillicothe band students. If you, like me, are lousy at wrapping Christmas presents, that's probably the highlight of my family's morning, is seeing the things that I tried to wrap. You can take your gifts to Grandpa Joe's, not Uncle Joe, Glitter Mom, or Pop Culture between 11 and 3, and they will wrap all of your gifts for you. Now, donations collected will support the Chillicothe band students' travel to Chicago next March. If you don't need any gifts wrapped, you can still support. Feel free to donate via PayPal using the QR code at the bottom of this image. Staying on that downtown activity that starts tomorrow night, Dan, you had some guests earlier today about Shine on Chillicothe.
To my left there, you see Erica Oliver and Nancy Gomez, and they are involved with Shine on Chillicothe, and they are very anxious for what's going to happen. Lights will be on tomorrow night. Santa arrives at 6:25. He'll flip the switch for the Christmas tree. But the planning for all those lights and everything you see in the back starts in January.
We start planning. We have a map that we do. We start shopping sales books because you get really good deals in January, sometimes like 50% off. So we try to get that stuff in real early, carry a little bit of money over into the new year to be able to make some purchases. We try to pick out items and then sell them to donors in the community. Like the chair that we put in place, we had picked that out early and specifically tried to go to people that we thought would be able to fund that and get that covered. South Central Power gave us a large grant this year, and we were able to purchase a 20-foot tunnel that you can walk through that will be kind of in between the Enderlin Circle and the Armory. So we've moved more stuff over into that grassy area to expand. So that's like a color-changing tunnel that's interactive that you can walk through. So we've added that this year. We've wrapped several more trees just with string lights because that's something that is cost-effective and simple for us to do because it's the volunteers, the ladies, just doing that on ladders, and you don't have to pay a bucket truck or anything to be there. So
we have moved our Christmas tree walk.
Oh, yes.
Last year it was on the side of the lake by the YMCA. Yeah. This year it has moved by the gazebo right along the lake, so you can walk from the road going through Jacques Tangi Park over to the lake and go right through the trees, and it's beautiful. So on the other side of the lake, in place of the tree walk from last year, we have tomato cage trees. So we took tomato cages and turned them upside down and decorated them with lights, and so they line the other side of the
That was our little grassroots project. Yeah. Santa Tom donated a bunch of lights that he got on clearance last year from Lowe's, and so we used those that way to replace that Christmas walk so it wasn't bare over there. So we try to do a little mix of some homemade things and some, nice commercial stuff that we purchased to balance it out.
And our committee will be very excited in January and start talking about all the things we want to do next year. Yeah. And Erica will have to rein us in and say, well, the electricity will only go so far. We can only run 150
sometimes the bearer of bad
from a
news.
Power source, and so she'll tell us what we can and cannot do.
As you can see, a lot of stuff that they have planned for the park. I was enthralled by Erica's ability to know how to put all this together.
Yeah, she knows all of the wattage and everything that you've gone into
what
that.
you can and can't do. Now, you can see some of the decorations up already, and I went through the park earlier this week with Amelia. You see that they have moved the Santa house. Mm-hmm. It is just outside the outfield fence of the Diamond number 1. So you'll be able to park in the Park Armory parking lot, but you can also easier access just walking down the slope to get right to Santa, who will be there waiting for you. But they took those bulbs that you saw behind Nancy's head a moment ago on the ground. They're now up in a tree, and they're about 12 to 15 feet high up there, dangling. I can't wait to see this turned on.
Yeah.
But there's little Amelia sitting in the big chair. This big chair is where Santa's house used to be inside Enderlin Circle, and you can hop up into the chair, take selfies, and everything else.
Now, I drove through the park yesterday between appointments, and I saw these white big balls on the ground.
Yeah.
That's where they'll stay?
They'll stay there, but that's the memory garden, where a number of names are up on this banner of people that these were just remembering those who loved Christmas that are no longer with us.
Gotcha.
That's an area. They still have the Santa bears that have the faces. You can put your face through there and get your picture taken. The big ornament with the star in the middle, that's there. The big swan is up there. But they've added 25 more trees to the Christmas tree walk, and it's been moved over to the gazebo, and it will be impressive as well. So very much looking forward to doing this. And I know Aaron and I were discussing what our plans might be, how to handle all this tomorrow night. And it's good to know that the lights will be on already, and we're just waiting for Santa to flip the switch on the Christmas tree.
Like in at the Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
Precisely.
But better.
But better, yes, because Mike Haller will be there as your MC. If Haller's there, and no one's passed away, it's a good thing. But it's a good thing if they have, because they do a good job of handling.
Well,
those.
maybe if Mike's there, nothing bad will happen. It's like Death Takes a Holiday or something, like that old movie Frederick March was in years ago.
Yeah, we just got off of Halloween with the Grim Reaper. Now we got Christmas with Matt Haller.
Yeah, very good.
Or Mike Haller.
So enjoy that, folks. As you pointed out yesterday, Dan, I think last year 30,000 people came through to see all of that.
Yeah, and that's just driving through the park to see the lights. I did take a look at what the National Weather Service says. We will have rain throughout the day tomorrow. However, between 5 and 10 p.m., there is less than a tenth of an inch of rain expected.
Good.
So
That's
it'll be
good.
very light precipitation.
Is that 30,000 vehicles or 30,000 people in the vehicles?
Vehicles.
Which
So you
means
gotta
there could have
assume
been
there's-
more.
There's families of 4
That's
and
right.
5.
You could have 130,000 people that went through to see it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Or like I said in the interview today, that 7-year-old bouncing up and down on top of the car counter.
Yeah, exactly. So Chillicothe, this is all for you in the surrounding areas. Get out there and enjoy it.
Yes.
Speaking about trees in the park, the Chillicothe Tree Commission meeting is going to be scheduled for Tuesday, November the 21st. That's at 5 p.m. A lot of times during the warmer weather months, they meet in the shelter house, but they're going to be in the Chillicothe Administration Building for that 5 p.m. meeting Tuesday, and that is at 35 South Paint Street, first floor conference room. And that is your topics for today.
We're going to have sports here in just a moment, but I just had notification from the Cleveland Browns.
Deshaun's back?
He is not. But Jim Donovan is back up in the broadcast booth.
That's good news.
Jim has been going through cancer treatment, and was it 2 weeks ago? Paul Keels filled in for him in the Cardinals game. I can't recall who they had in the booth last week, but it's good to hear that Jim Donovan's going to be back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns this coming Sunday. So I wanted to throw in a little good story there for you there. Coming up in a moment, our Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Insurance Player of the Week. Normally we did this during our football preview show. We have no football preview show this week, so we're going to announce it as our lead story in sports, which is on the way next. But first, Scioto Valley Dumpsters. You got a cleanup job? In some instances, they can help you clean up. They may do it all for you. They can do demolition services as well. And the good thing is they've got dumpsters to put stuff into. So if you need a dumpster or you need some demolition services, give them a call, 740-253-8389. And once it's filled up and the job is done, they'll haul it all away. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, give Carl a call and tell him that Dan and Mike sent you, 740-253-8389.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our Kingston National Bank mobility app today.
At Rathkamp Financial, we believe in building client relationships for the long term, guiding you through the stages of wealth with a plan and bringing you closer to reaching your financial dreams. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week. And we do still want your nominations, so make sure you get those sent to us. Trying to figure out the best way to have people vote for the Player of the Year. So that is something that we hope to have hammered out here in the next week or so. So to give you an opportunity to say, I want that one.
Sound like you're ordering from McDonald's.
Yeah. Or Uncle Sam wants you.
He wants you. Yeah.
All right. Who is this week's Athlete of the Week?
Yeah, this guy really has made a mark in boys high school soccer this past fall. Caleb Redding of Fairfield Union High School. He was the 2023 Mid-State League Player of the Year, the District Player of the Year, and is also second-team All-Ohio. He scored both goals in the Falcons' 2-1 win over Marietta in the regional semifinals. So, Caleb Redding, congratulations on being our Athlete of the Week.
And I think I saw a post by Fairfield Union Sports where his senior class has been involved in like 60 victories.
Yeah. They were an outstanding boys soccer program over the last few years, but congratulations to Caleb. The Ohio High School Athletic Association launched the Respect the Game program back in 2004, and the phrase and logo have become synonymous with interscholastic athletics in Ohio, from public address announcers, publications, social media, and public service announcements.
And they just don't get the message.
They do. This fall, the OHSA has been working on new resources and collecting ideas from member schools to announce an expanded Respect the Game program for the 23-24 winter sports season, which is about to get underway. We want you to have a good time at the game, folks, and root on your team, but show good sportsmanship.
And that photo you used was one of Joe B. Stewart's last teams for the McLean Tigers, and that was a victory at Larry Jordan Gymnasium at Southeastern High School. And it was a tight contest, and it was one of those where somebody had to win, somebody had to lose, and at the end, the guys were shaking hands afterwards.
Right.
That is sportsmanship.
I remember covering that team. I was at Miami Trace the night that McLean won the championship. And I think they did this after every game that year. The McLean players and the student body would come together in a big circle. They'd sing the alma mater, and then they'd have prayer to close out. I just thought that was neat.
That was something that Joe Stewart instituted when he was the head coach there. So, and that really brought the student body, everybody together.
Yeah.
And it didn't hurt that they won 20 games or so.
Didn't hurt at all. Almost went to the state tournament that year, but some team around Waverly Way, I think, went instead.
Yes, sir.
So, be good sports out there, folks. The Ohio Bobcats football team in action last night, and they won. Beat Central Michigan 34-20.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, Bobcats. Now, there's a fairly big game in the NFL tonight involving the Cincinnati Bengals as they are taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And this is not only a big game for the Bengals to stay in the conference race, but everybody in that division could really benefit if the Bengals win tonight.
And they've all been beaten up on each other. Cleveland has lost to Baltimore, lost to Pittsburgh, beat Cincinnati, and beat Baltimore.
Yeah.
They've got a chance to beat Pittsburgh Sunday. Pittsburgh has defeated Cleveland. I think, have they played Cincinnati yet? Trying to remember how this. Yeah,
I thought they had, but I can't.
And
recall.
Baltimore's a game ahead of everybody. They haven't had their bye week yet. So, but it's been they've been going at it against each other, and whoever ends up at the top of this heap, I don't know if they'll be able to continue against the other teams in the AFC.
Right.
I just don't know.
Well, they were saying last week, if the season had ended that day, everybody in that division would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been like that the last couple of weeks here. So.
But they, like Dan said, they're just beating each other up. So that tags on losses. NBA action last night. Cleveland Cavs on a West Coast swing. Told you earlier they lost early this week, but last night picked up a win over Portland. Late night, 109-95. And that's a look at sports.
Okay. I just want to check something real quick here. See if this wasn't working earlier this week on the app, and it looks like it's still not working. Yeah. Usually the Cleveland Browns on their app have standings, and then you can see it gives you across the board who has played each other, what your records are overall, but then your interdivisional records, how many points you scored, and so on and so forth. So, it's not working for some reason.
Gotcha.
Maybe Deshaun.
He took it
involved
out
with
with
the
him.
standings. Coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at this date in history, and that is what year?
1907. Oklahoma, but it's not the musical. But Oklahoma's involved.
Thank goodness. Or Shirley Jones when you need her.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, we'll take a look at this date in history next. For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand.
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
Time for this date in history, 1907.
Yes. Indian Territory and Oklahoma Territory collectively enter the United States as Oklahoma, the 46th state. Oklahoma, with a name derived from the Choctaw Indian words Okla, meaning people, and Humma, your dad, Aaron, would have an appreciation for that. Ask him about Humana. Meaning red, has a history of human occupation dating back 15,000 years. But we welcome Oklahoma to the United States on this date in 1907.
Are you talking Humana?
That's what Joe, Aaron's dad, used to say.
We, during our Springer Radio moment in here, used to have an affiliate station in Houma, Louisiana.
That's correct.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
But Oklahoma, let me go back to that real quick. That's where the Shawnee tribe is now. The Eastern Shawnee tribe is in Oklahoma. They make regular trips back here to watch the outdoor drama Tecumseh, and that's where Chief, forgive me.
Glenna Wallace?
Yes, Glenna Wallace was, that's where she is, and she was on the big stage, international stage, not too long ago, receiving the World Heritage distinction.
When she was speaking out at the ceremony at Hopewell Culture Park here about a month ago, she said that she's 83.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. That this she looks like she might be 55.
Yeah, yeah. She was a spokesperson at OUC. She addressed the World Heritage inscription potentials, and this was, 2 years ago, I think, maybe so. And she was just, the content that she was sharing was, you were just on the edge of your seat, listening to her tell the story about seeing for the first time the Newark earthworks and seeing that there was a golf course there. I can't imagine that. Right. I mean, it's like having your family cemetery and someone driving by in a golf cart, you know.
Well, for a while, back in the late 1800s, Serpent Mound was being farmed. They were plowing into the earthwork, so.
And before Camp Sherman.
But probably they didn't know what they were plowing into back then.
Precisely. So, one thing we didn't mention in sports was Rio Grande lost yesterday to Indiana Wesleyan. Is it possible we can hear what the Indiana Wesleyan alma mater sounds like, or maybe the fight song?
I don't know if I'm sure we have one. I don't know how it goes.
You didn't have to recite that, huh?
Hail to the Wildcats.
Do you remember the Adena High School?
I do, actually.
Because Rachel, well, you probably didn't have Mrs. Martin as your teacher, but we had to memorize that.
We had to memorize it, too.
Okay.
Really? I could sing or play the music. I couldn't tell you what our alma mater at Thays Valley says.
Oh. I guess you were just not that in love with Thays Valley.
No, I never had to sing it because I was always playing my trombone.
I got it.
So the teams in the student section will always sing it after games, win or lose.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Win or lose. That's the Christian way to do it.
You're talking about Indiana Wesleyan now, not the.
No, Adena.
Oh, really? Because they didn't do that when I was in school. Yeah.
No, I did cover a basketball game at Adena and capture that on video. One of the first games that I did back in 2018.
Yeah. Then I was probably in that student section.
Probably was.
It seems that became popular again at schools when Jim Tressel started doing the thing down in the end zone with the players singing. It seemed like everybody started doing that again. So, yeah.
Recall the days that Drew Basil was with Ohio State, and you would pick him out, and he'd say, "Oh, there he is. He's standing there with J.T. Barrett tonight. That's pretty awesome." Really. Singing the. Yeah. All right, that's it for the program. Tomorrow we have a special guest at 9 o'clock. I think a lot of folks are familiar with this guy.
Good guy.
Paul Pollard. Yeah. We'll be talking about Rockford Tots, our annual chat we have with Paul. So that'll take place tomorrow morning at 9. Then I'll be scooting out. I picked up an assignment that we didn't know about until this morning. So I was expecting to head home to spend some quality time at home and then come back for the downtown open house. But if everything falls into place, we'll have something special to show you on Litter Media through YouTube, our YouTube channel, our social media, as well as littermedia.com. So until tomorrow, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. We're back with you with the
scratching all those listeners' backs out there. Steve's stretched out in Cozumel. He needs to be scratched on the back there. He's out on the beach somewhere. Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching Litter Media Live.